the war between Candace Owens and Ben Shapiro continues. Now, this time, we at the Bring the Asteroid, we got together, we watched this clip, and we thought, she is probably talking about Ben Shapiro, but she can't directly call out Ben Shapiro because of the gag order that she was given. Now, if you guys have been following, you know that there is just a boxing match going on between Candace Owens, Daily Wire, Ben Shapiro, Tucker Carlson. So much, just put it frankly, shit. It's just a shit show, really. That's really what it is. And now we have Candace Owens responding loosely to Ben Shapiro against Tucker. It's so much. But we think that this is about Ben Shapiro. I want to know what you guys think in the comments down below. Let me know.
Media. Now, speaking of the mainstream media, Tucker has just been an absolute joy. Everybody knows I am a Tucker Carlson stan. I make no apologies for that. There is so much synergy between me and Tucker Carlson. And like I said, there's just so few people in media that I actually look up to. And when we sort of watched what Fox News did to them, and like I've said, Fox News has always been good to me, but I think we all felt the same way about what they did to their...
Okay. What Fox News did to Tucker Carlson and what Daily Wire did to Candace Owens, guys, I think she's getting at something here.
Lead talent, and we all felt that we had developed this relationship with him as somebody that we could actually trust, that was still a part of the corporate media apparatus. And so to see him out there and selling out stadiums all across the world, and to see the success that he has had independently, is tremendously inspiring to me. And then, of course, seeing this, again, he's down under. And as is to be expected, he is dealing with reporters who are trying to get him in a gotcha moment, one reporter after the other. And it just becomes apparent that Tucker has had enough of their questions that are just so evident. You know, they're just so, it's so evident who they work for. And a ton of people were asking him about Putin. And here's what Tucker said in response. Here's a quick clip of that.
My question on Putin.
Putin!
I think you did strategically because you knew it's what we'd ask.
Putin! He's so bad!
And I also appreciate that...
Did he make you take the COVID shot?
Take the what?
The COVID shot? No, he didn't. Sorry.
The COVID shot saved probably tens of millions.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
This is why people love Tucker. He knows he has that intellect. He's playing 4D chess. You know, chess? He's playing 4D chess all the time. He's got it.
Safe and effective. This is why everyone loves the media.
Probably 100 times more lives than Putin's killed in Ukraine.
It's like a time capsule. It's like you're like the last Japanese soldier on Okinawa. You think the war's still going. No, it didn't save millions of lives. Oh, it's hilarious. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm being boorish.
I just love that so much. I love it because he's correct. They sound like droids. They all say the exact same thing. There is no independence in the media. It is just a carbon copy. And they all pretend it's going to be a hard-hitting question. How predictable? You're going to ask him about Putin because how dare a journalist, without the authority of corporate media, go out to interview Putin without saying all of the things that the corporate media would like suggested about Putin, because they are just itching to go to war with him. And as I said yesterday, I'm just not biting on this propaganda. I'm sorry. I am not here for another Christian country to be taken down and flooded with migrants, because that's what they do. They flood these countries with migrants, and then they render these countries completely subjugated. People become impoverished. The countries don't look like those countries anymore. I mean, literally, you can go through the cities, some cities in America, and how dilapidated are they? And then you go to Russia, and as Tucker demonstrated, you have a faithful country. You have a country that has clean subways. You have a country that actually is doing, despite the media telling us otherwise, has been doing well economically, and is standing independent from the globalist cabal that we are facing here today, that keeps trying to convince us that we need to look around us, see filth, and smile. Learn to love your surroundings. Smile. Learn to love it. It's going to be so great. And yes, they are intentionally flooding these countries with migrants. It is so evident that they are doing this intentionally. They do not want us to have any identity. Ultimately, their goal is human enslavement. They want us to be happy slaves. And so it just brings me so much pleasure when you see people like Tucker calling them out on that. And just on time, another reporter, brave reporter, journalist, stepped to the plate to ask Tucker about his, idea of white replacement, quote unquote, white replacement. Take a listen.
So you talked a little bit about immigration, and in the past you've talked about how white Australians, Americans, Europeans are being replaced by non-white immigrants in what is often referred to as the Great Replacement Theory. This is the same...
Have I said that whites are being replaced?
Well...
I don't think I said that.
Well, it's been mentioned on your show 4,000 times. And
really, when did I say that?
On your show.
I said whites
Fox?
are being replaced?
You have said that before.
Really?
Yeah.
I would challenge you to cite that, because I'm pretty sure I haven't said that. I said native-born Americans are being replaced, including blacks.
Native-born Americans.
Native-born Americans.
And
Americans who, like black Americans, African Americans have been in the United States for, in many cases, their families over 400 years. And their concerns are every bit as real and valid and alive to me as the concerns of white people whose families have been there 400 years. My concern is that the people who are born in the country are the main responsibility of its leaders. And as noted earlier, when those leaders shift their concern from the people whose responsibility it is to take care of to people around the world to put their priorities above that of their own citizens, that's immoral. And they are being replaced in my country, people who are born in the United States. And the birth rate tells the whole story. They're not at replacement rate. And so the U.S. population is growing because we're importing people from other countries. And my view is that happy people have children, and a functioning economy allows them to do that. And we don't have that. And so you need to fix the economy and fix the culture and make it so that people who want to have kids can. You don't just go for the quick sugar fix of importing new people. Like, that's my position. And if you think that's racist, that's your problem.
Yeah, and it is absolutely true. They are replacing our culture, this whole concept of multiculturalism, and this is what the journalists do. If you're starting to notice that you don't recognize your surroundings, maybe you're in the UK, maybe you're growing up in England, and you're going, hey, I don't recognize this place. This is what the culture has completely changed. Maybe you're growing up in America, and you're going, hey, this is not the America that I remember. I say that now. Having grown up in the 90s, this is not the America that I remember.
So where's the beef? Where's the beef? What's going on here? Well, Ben Shapiro has gone to war with Tucker Carlson for what he said on Joe Rogan. And now specifically, he's being attacked regarding Russia, right? And the mainstream media is attacking, like those people that you just saw asking him questions, right? That person said that the vaccine saved millions of lives. That is 100% true. Absolutely. You hear that, YouTube? True. Real. Legit. Those are the people that hate the new stream of information, right? The InfoWars, hate it. The Bring the Asteroid, hate it. Any alternative media, tenant media, hate it. All of the people who sit there, Candace Owens, who sit there, and they go, I'm not really going to bite. I'm not going to bite on the propaganda, and I'm not going to really believe, the Glenn Becks and the CNNs, right? You listen to Glenn Beck on Putin, and then you listen to CNN on Putin, and it's like the same exact thing. Well, that's kind of strange, isn't it? That you can listen to a right-wing person and CNN talk, and they're both saying, this is called the mainstream. It's just an umbrella, like, mainstream, yay. Boo, sorry, boo, mainstream, yeah. That's them, okay? And Ben Shapiro is one of those people who is going to feed you propaganda bullets about Putin. Now, as far as why, I'm not entirely sure, but I bet it has something to do with making Israel a stronger nation, if I had to guess, because that seems like that's what drives his agenda 99% of the time. Now, Tucker goes to Russia, interviews Putin. Great interview. I mean, it was an all right interview, to be honest. I mean, Putin just had complete control, and he decided to talk about Russian history for like 3 hours long. If that's your thing, then great interview. And I was kind of into it. Great interview. And this is what people had to say about Tucker Carlson, his isolationist mentality, blah, blah, blah. Let's watch.
talking about in terms of the new isolationism, people like Tucker Carlson, who's been having a go at you over many things recently, I see in him a kind of, I went and I sold the war in Iraq to the people, and then it was all based on a pack of lies, and now America is, his brain sees America differently now. It's quite clear, and that's why he's going over to Russia and having all, finding out that, Russian supermarkets have shopping carts with these magnificent mechanisms and all the rest of it, right? So I guess what we're talking about is,
frankly, I think that said more about his lack of understanding of how supermarkets work than about Russia.
Well, right.
That was bizarre.
And the idea that food is cheaper in Russia, I mean, it is cheaper for an American, but it's 3 times or 5 times or however many times more expensive for the average Russian. So, but this is what happens when people have these ideologies about basically America bad, the rest of the world good.
Right. Well, and I think that is the key, right? I think that there's a difference between America makes mistakes and bad things happen, which is true for literally any country, and America inherently getting involved in things makes that a worse place, that it makes the thing bad, and that's true for the West generally, that the world would be a better place if Western powers were not involved in particular areas. Again, it's impossible to make the case that the West has been completely innocent or that the West has never made mistakes, that every place the West has touched has been amazing. That's obviously not true.
So what do you guys think? To me, it seems like we have a divide, a little war happening between Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, Thomas Massey, the America First crowd, and then the Zionist crowd. That's really what I think. Ben Shapiro, Glenn Beck, these guys lining up against these guys and sneak dissing and doing these punches. But I want to know what you guys think in the comments down below. Make sure you guys like this video, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.